So Fat Man.
Which
So
one?
Sleazy.
Oh god damn. There's too many of them. So what happens when you get four assholes who have no idea about wrestling to talk about the state of pro wrestling in 2020?
Man, we got rid of two of them already.
I was gonna say we're listening to this is a Closed Fist podcast.
Man, that is a rock solid idea.
That is.
Let's talk about all of that.
Oh, yes.
This is terrible on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
This is the Canadian Fat Man.
This is the man band, Fat Man.
And
Welcome,
then,
everyone, to another.
Together.
and then there's a Fat Man.
Hey, welcome everyone to another wonderful episode. As you can see, we have. It's not draft day, but it is Dietz Day. Brandon Dietz is here with us today.
So are we just ripping off Rusev Day and every day is Dietz Day now because I want that shirt.
Ooh, every day can be a Deets Day.
I'm into that.
Yes.
And of course, the master blunt roller himself, the proud papa, Canadian Fat Man, is here.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Hey-o, and I appreciate the question mark at the end. That's it. You got to read it all.
Today we're doing something a little bit different.
We're not. Don't lie to our multitude of fans. We do this once a year.
Yeah, well, most
usually around
time
this time that you pointed out.
that is also true. Yes, we do that. I guess we're doing something a little bit different in the fact that we're not tonight reviewing a show because we're usually reviewing
All the shows.
Yeah, kind of, yes. So we usually do like a state of pro wrestling. Look at Fat Man just absolutely dying over the hard way.
Breathe, bastard.
Breathe, massa.
What's this breathing you're talking about?
Right? So we usually talk about the state of pro wrestling pretty much every year right around the same time. This year we kind of went a little bit different. Yes, absolutely. I will be on OnlyFans shortly.
Sleazy's
Yeah,
OnlyFans
OnlyFans.
debut. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing about that. You're going to see a lot of microscopes. You're going to see a
Tweezers.
lot of tweezers, a lot of hermaphroditic Asian porn,
Yes.
But they're only
And-
content creators that he shares with.
and Sleazy's big gut in the way. That's what
Hey,
you're going to see on the OnlyFans.
How dare you? I'm open to any and all collaborations.
He'll suck your dick.
Please.
Please let me
figures.
suck your dick.
Come on, sponsor the show. I'll suck your dick, man. Please. So let's get the show on the road, so to speak. Let's try and get Fat Man's take on stuff. We're gonna go through each of the major promotions. Well,
So,
I'm not sure how long your fucking
As
voice
the
is
show
gonna last.
progresses, I assume his voice is going to get worse.
Exactly.
So let's not do AEW at the start so we can have an open, healthy discussion later. When he gets
Here's the thing. I can't yell anyway.
Here's the thing.
Well, here's the thing. I can't yell anyway. So
Well, let's start with WWE. I'll throw it out to you to get started. Start off the state of pro wrestling in 2024.
And basically what we do is what we think they should, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what we think they should be doing. And you may call me what I call a fed shill.
Reddit, we give our props to Reddit for that because that's Reddit amazing.
Uh,
We love Reddit here on this show.
Oh, yeah. Without question.
if one thing WWE can do better is maybe highlight the women's division a little bit better. I know they got storylines and stuff like that. Sleazy, your camera's freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why.
But other than that, dude, they're doing gangbusters business. That Cody storyline is absolutely phenomenal. I know they're packing arenas. They're doing great, and people can say, "Oh, he's a fucking WWE mark," which I am 100%. But you can't deny the business that they're doing.
Yeah,
if you're going to mount off a call, like I'll use Fat Man as an example. With the current product, if I was going to call you a mark, it'd be a TNA mark.
I'm 100% TNA mark.
You know what I mean? Like when people use that as when they're like, "Oh, like me, Fed Shield," I'd call me a TNA mark because if you're using the term mark, no matter what Fed we talk about, in that instance, it's the Fed that you would prefer to watch more than anything else at this time, I find. Like for the Fed Shield, a bit of a different, just you're going to push the Fed, be all end all, but like to say, "Oh, he's a WWE mark," or you're a TNA mark. That would be the one that if you were to go out of your way and you could only watch 2 hours of wrestling a week, from your knowledge.
Give me Josh Alexander.
All day long.
Because you'd piss him off for telling him he's only a king of only 4-star matches.
No, I said, I'm like, your nickname is the king of the 4-star match. And he goes, "What? I'm not going up for 5 stars." I go, "No.
It's a minimum."
I said it's a minimum. Every time you're on, you start at 4 stars.
That means he's higher than that. Because if every match is 4 stars or higher, I know how percentages and math fucking works.
Thank God you do.
And it would trigger me so much, but you'd have to be like, you're the king of the 4.1825 star matches. Like,
no, you're Canadian. You don't know how to do math.
But
so you use the fucking metric system.
So they use the metric.
I only use the metric system when I buy drugs, sir. Thank you very much.
Americans will get out of anything but using the metric system. That's 3.5 washers full.
Yes.
So that's all you got for WWE?
I mean, they again maybe highlight the women's division a little bit better. I know like the stories going into WrestleMania weren't great, but the match is delivered, which is good because the matches are normally delivered. It's just maybe highlight them a little bit better on TV, get the story built up. There's probably stuff I'm missing, but
absolutely, if you don't watch the product. For 3 high-profile women's matches to happen at WrestleMania, all with their own TV time to promote the story.
I understand it. I said they didn't do a great job of promoting the story.
What? You have me so confused there because like one won the fucking Rumble, and they pushed that from the Rumble on. The other one
did a great job of that.
The other did the normal win the Elimination Chamber 4 to 6 weeks out and get their title match, and they've been pushing that forever because of the cross reference. So that's 2 storylines.
You're not. Maybe I'm not articulating it time wise. I should say on TV.
No, still not articulating it right because they all had time. The only one that didn't really have time would be the 6-man, and I'm sorry, 2024 6-person. But like, they all had their own specific time. I get 5 hours of wrestling is a lot to watch for anybody on just one Fed. Yeah. But like, I dispute it because those 3 WrestleMania women's matches had proper time to cultivate the juices. Like,
if anyone didn't, it was Rhea and Becky. But even then, that was still done. It was done decently well, but it wasn't a 2-year-long storyline like Cody's was. I don't think I could handle it.
I would place 2 of them. If not, I would place all 3 of them from Rumble to Mania. They're standard, normal. And if you want to say it technically, Bayley EO, absolutely almost a 2-year run from the initial show up.
Oh, yeah.
To the eventual
But here's the thing, dickhead. This is what I think, not what actually happened, so fuck off.
Oh, I'm just letting you know that your thinking is wrong.
I think it's not wrong because those Bills had like 5 minutes of TV time each. That's what I'm getting at. Plus, the other secondary women's matches were like 3 minutes. So watch the fucking product.
That's like
Asshole.
your opinion, man.
Asshole.
Right?
Way to start this one off, boys.
Right?
Every bit I watch the
Hey.
product know what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
here's the thing. I don't have to yell to articulate my point. I'm Jake the Snake Roberts' dick.
Yeah, like
So
fuck you are.
off.
Oh, you're Jake the Snake Roberts like I'm Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah, funny thing. There literally was a guy who came into my shop today whose name was Terry Hogan.
Really?
Yes.
Great name.
Fuck
What?
that dude.
Looked almost exactly like him too.
Wow.
Except probably if Hogan looked like he was in his 90s.
Well, he does, even though he's 70.
Yeah.
So Hogan now.
Right? So Ryan, let's go with WWE for you.
So for me,
You got to pull the gun out first.
I have to refuel. I think WWE's hitting on all fucking cylinders, and it pisses a lot of people off right now. Anybody that, and it's people that will be like, oh, well, WWE's had a 50-year start on AEW as the example, or they've been doing this, or they got like every excuse that people have to try to take WWE down as a whole is fucking idiotic. Because, yeah, they've been there for 50 plus years. They know exactly what they're doing. In 2019, when WWE 2019 rivaled WCW 2000 storylines right before AEW got created, they were still better than 90% of the shit. Like, to me, anyways, because I am the one that's going to watch near 5 hours of product on WWE alone, because I know every day I have a certain allotment of time to watch this wrestling or that wrestling. But specifically now about WWE, they are hitting on all fucking cylinders, and it's weird for a billion-dollar company for me to say this about them. They are not getting the fucking credit they deserve. What they would probably work on, they got rid of fucking Dunn. So, like, even their television product and their camera angles have been better, and their storylines have been better. Like
That Jey Uso to Sami Zayn thing from Monday
Awesome.
night,
Yes.
fucking beautiful.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Transition.
specifically, no more Kevin Dunn.
Right. Because Kevin would never have done something like that. And this is the second time they've done these long ass shots before, and I think it's fucking beautiful. So, are you okay over there?
Sounds like
Jesus.
me.
I'm so excited over no Kevin Dunn.
There is literally a
Dick old fucking old beaver.
there's a fucking cloud of smoke around you right now. It's
It's
phenomenal,
that WWE feel. I'm on cloud now. I'm going to watch the show.
right?
What else is new?
Oh, since we talk about the state of it, we have no clue how long she's going to be out for. So I'll touch on the state of the women's division just to piggyback off regular Fat Man here.
Okay.
What do you do with Rhea when she comes back? Because she can't go back to the Judgment Day. I'd pass if they'd let me. Smoking drugs off a screw. Yeah, what do you do with Rhea when she comes back?
I don't think you put her in the title feud immediately, because it's 3 to 4 months sprained AC joint. So no surgery required.
It's her shoulder.
Yeah, get out. Come on, get out. Yes, okay, good job, Red Sox.
The fuck?
I think you have her. I was gonna say win the Rumble, but she won it 2 years ago. You can have her win the Rumble again. That's fine, and then have her face whoever for the title of Mania next year. I think that's a good. I think that's a good.
Oh, do you put it on Liv?
100%. You kind
Liv
of
is
got
the
to.
hottest.
I don't know.
You kind of have to right now. She's the one that attacked her. You kind of have to, don't you?
But if you want to completely change everything, you got Stratton in the wins.
Well, the draft is happening
In a couple of weeks.
a couple weeks.
By the time this comes out, 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. I think you have her getting injured now means August?
SummerSlam.
Yeah. And I think you have her re-debut at SummerSlam as a face.
Well, she's going to be cheered no matter what anyway.
Right. So you just roll with that. you don't have her with the Judgment Day anymore. Just have her debut as her on her own. Maybe beat the shit out of Liv.
It'd be nice though to give maybe not Judgment Day, but help out Dom. Like if Dom's getting like a U.S. title or IC title match, and she mystically appears.
I don't think you can do that immediately, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did that later.
Yeah, I don't think you re-debut her helping Dom. I think you re-debut her in the women's division.
Right. And I think that one of the Judgment Day has been one of the few factions that they have right now where everybody's gotten a rub from it. So you got to be very careful about breaking them up, because if you break them up in the wrong way, people just like die in the weeds. And that would be unfortunate here. Deets, I'm throwing it to you. WWE.
Okay. So totally 100% believe. I don't like where they're calling it the Triple H era or the Paul Levesque era. This is the Renaissance, bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, we're totally going through a wrestling renaissance again, which is awesome. It makes everybody happy. I'm appreciating that they're really starting to separate brands. Raw titles all have the leafy gold big belt.
Even the new tag titles.
Even the new tag titles
are red. Like the red.
Are the only person, and I specifically look at you, Fat Man, when I asked this question, was I the only person that thought of the NWA United States title when those belts got debuted last night?
Yep. No, I thought of it too.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, interesting.
I was surprised they used the red lettering, because I'm like, if they're gonna,
it's a throwback to the actual main tag title. That
I know.
had the Majestic one was all red lettering as well.
I understand that, but it's like raw red. That's where I got it from. You're right. I just feel like it. I thought maybe they're gonna don't go with the colors and not make it brand specific, because red. I get what you're saying, but I like them. I like that they're doing it like Sleazy even said, I think last week, make the titles in each division so they're all uniform now.
Yep. Yeah.
So, which is perfect. And I'm expecting on SmackDown they're going to have the tag titles look like the WWE title belt. So
I'm sure.
So with a little bit of twist on it. So
I think it's going to be some type of bird. You got the United States title has some sort of winged eagle. If you start to slowly introduce, remember the WWF tag team title is top 3 in my book.
Which one? There's multiple versions of that one.
The Demolition.
So without the color.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That is my go-to tag team title. And that's saying a lot because I'm a WCW guy too, and I love that title.
Yeah, but WCW's tag belts were shit.
Well, no, they were tiny.
Yes, they were.
Yeah,
I think we said the same
really
thing.
Tiny. But we're going through this renaissance. We're getting further away from different brands, and I'm appreciating the draft that's coming up. NXT's a part of it, and they're able to draft. So now I can see, like somebody who's never been to NXT go. And I always appreciated that, like with ECW, Kurt fucking Angle shows up on fucking ECW getting drafted and had literally remixed his character up. I appreciate that type of shit.
Listen, we're not going dropping Perk Angle around here and using him as a fucking standard for people, okay? Like,
Perk Angle was fucking great, though. Perk Angle was great, better than Vitor Belfort on TRT.
It's not a demotion to go to NXT anymore. And
no, it's not.
I think that this draft will help that specifically.
So who's the number one pick if you're in NXT? Who would you want to see?
Now, if NXT actually gets to draft people, are we okay? Which answer do you want? The kayfabe answer or the I think it'd be cool answer?
Both. Do both.
If NXT draws, you draw Cody Rhodes. Kayfabe answer speaking, you draw Cody Rhodes. But if NXT's not getting drafts, their pool are being picked from, which I think is
No,
what
they
it was.
specifically said they have drafts.
They have draft picks.
NXT has draft
They
picks.
said that.
Yes. Which is why you're seeing a lot more crossover. You had, obviously, the Final Testament come out and beat the shit out of everybody.
Here's another thing.
Ivar.
This still goes back to Triple H. It's when you had Ilya had a really good match with Shinsuke Nakamura, went over. You wouldn't see that 6 to 8 months ago. You got an NXT champion, guess what? He's losing. Or somebody, if you're branded off of NXT, you've automatically lost. Jeff Hardy fucking destroyed Karrion Kross in what, 8 seconds? Like a
But he didn't destroy Karrion Kross. He got a fluky win over Karrion Kross, and everybody shit all over it.
Yeah. And everybody went fucking wild. You don't see the transfer. You know how NXT talent normally transfers over, and then there's a sputter. We're not. We're not seeing that now.
You're not seeing that because the same people who are bringing people up in NXT are now in charge of the main roster as well.
It's kind of like the people who are running around SmackDown watch the NXT product.
Don't say that. We don't watch the product.
God damn it! And then my final positive was production. The whole you guys mentioned it earlier. The Monday night long shot transfer.
The Goodfellas shot, I call it.
Yeah,
that's a good.
Yeah. So you want to be a gang? I'm sorry, it's my favorite movie. It's gonna happen. All of this is just being A1, but then there's the little fucking thing that drives me insane. If you are not a part of the main card, you have the shittiest entrance music of all time. You have an 8-bit Nintendo remix theme.
First of all, how dare you?
How dare you?
Yes, because that shit's awesome. 8-bit Nintendo themes.
At times.
Fuck you.
Chrono Cross, I'll give you that. That's I'll give you that. But it's the production value of your middle card. Like in a Royal Rumble, early 2000s, you hear a theme in 3 seconds, and if you're us, we know who it is. I couldn't do that this year. There were some people I had to wait.
Same, actually. Same.
Watch the fucking product.
And I do watch the product.
He does. I don't. That's why I don't
know people.
You
hear the song all the time, and you like the person, you're gonna know it.
I think he's saying that they all sound the same.
Yeah, most.
Wow, racist much?
Yep. Racist towards theme music.
That is my theme. I love it. You know me. I talk about entrances all fucking day long.
Oh yeah.
That is my shtick. There's nothing. I've always liked the middle card themes. Back in the day, you had your Santino Marella, who had a fucking banger of a fucking theme. You had, just thinking off the middle of the top, Thugonomics when Cena had his original run. Fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kansai. Right.
All right, let's move it.
Okay,
so just overall, they're doing awesome, and it's a revitalization of the product that we all love and enjoy.
I'll do mine next. I preface this by saying that, and we've kind of all touched upon this, they're doing a good fucking job, okay? God damn, pal. They're doing a good job without a bunch of assholes on a microphone criticizing what they're doing. Really. Okay? Right? There are 3 things that I really came up with that I really think that would be a little bit better. Number 1 is they've already started doing this, but the worldwide company that you are, be that. Do more bigger style PLE shows, Europe, Asia, Africa, and whatnot. They have the reach now. It's time to make some new fans rather than having some shitty house shows in Milan. Okay? They're already starting to do that this year. Obviously, Perth having Elimination Chamber. They're doing stuff in France with Backlash, Bash in Berlin again, and potentially other shows all across the world.
Clash at the Castle.
Or excuse me. also Bastion Berlin. So
Yeah.
Number 2 is a big one for me. For fuck's sakes, go back to hosting WWE Network in-house or find a different provider for it. Peacock is just not doing it for me.
So, sir, your first 2 complaints, they're already working on. How are they complaints?
Because they haven't been completely done. That's why I said when I started with this is that there's not much to change. If anything, this is what I would change right now for literally tomorrow.
So my big thing is I'm a little afraid when this change comes because Netflix really hasn't done a lot of full live events.
That's not true. They have done them for years, but they're just not as advertised as well as other things.
Correct. I mean, they do like the big comedy shows. Like they always have a live comedy event. Chappelle had one. Diaz. Who's the other big?
They are different. They're not live from what the product you're about to run into.
Chappelle's was one of Chappelle's was live.
Not as a live stream straight to Netflix. They were all live recorded, but that's not what happened.
No, there was a few that were live.
No, there was a few that were live.
They had live award shows that were
they haven't done a sporting event live.
That's the big thing. And so be it, but that's not touching on what I'm talking about specifically. And that's the fact that Peacock is absolute dog shit when it comes to the WWE Network portion of this. Ryan, I don't want to hear a drop from you because you motherfuckers still have it. A different version of it, but yes. We get the garbage that is Peacock, and I hate it, and it drives me nuts, and it just seems like a terrible way of presenting
product's history. Canadian internet now, dickhead.
Right? The third thing is kind of a controversial one. In the fact that it's almost certainly never going to happen, but I still feel like they should at least look into it. Their merch has gotten too expensive.
Absolutely.
$40 fucking for a t-shirt? Are you fucking kidding me?
When I ordered, almost 2 years ago, I had 4 shirts. The only reason I ordered from WWE Shop because it was buy one, get one free. Mm-hmm. And it was 4 shirts delivered to Canada, Newfoundland specifically. It's like $100, $110.
That's still a lot of money. It really is.
$25 shirt for 5X for me on an isolated island to get WWE merch specifically. Great deal.
For you, yes. Their normal prices are not like that. And in fact, it usually takes coupon codes, catching them on the right day for buy one get one or 40% off or stuff like that. There's a lot of discounts that they try and garner sales, but their normal prices are unbelievably expensive. Case in point, obviously WWE World's a bad example of this, but even online, you're getting these shirts and stuff like that at $35, $40, $45 per shirt. And don't forget, this is nothing more than advertising for your product, for the wrestler that you're working for, et cetera, et cetera. I'm repping Shinsuke Nakamura, right? It doesn't matter. Fat Man's repping Bryan Danielson, Yep. The reality is that you're putting this out into the world and people are going to ask you, well, who the fuck is Shinsuke Nakamura? Oh, he's this wrestler at WWE, blah, 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 blah. And everything goes from there. They're advertisements. You're paying WWE $40 for advertising their product, if you look at it from that perspective. Now, I'm not saying for the sake of argument, case in point here, but I'm not saying for the sake of argument that all their products should be cheaper. No, I'm saying that certain products should probably be a little bit less expensive, the t-shirts being one of them. But once again,
I'm counterbalance it by saying if people are paying it at that price, why lower it?
Oh, that's the other thing, is that I believe more people would pay for more t-shirts if they were a less price. Like if you made them $5 cheaper, but that gives you 50% more sales, you've made more money.
Maybe, but
that is the Hogan Austin fight.
Yes, 100%. And that's why it's a controversial pick.
No, this is actually a blanket I bought at the WWE World in Philadelphia because Sleazy keeps his house at 40 degrees. So I had to buy something.
Shocker. What else is new?
But how much did that cost?
$35. This was less than the T-shirt I bought.
Oh wow!
Legit.
I rest my case. Let's talk TNA. Let's start with one of the main marks of TNA, Canadian Fat Man.
Well, let me. Oh wait. Oh,
Canadian Fat Man.
Hey. So they decided to jump into a new streaming thing, and they've got the new streaming package set up. I don't like it because of it's like $200 something a year, and it's like, oh, we include our 4 big pay-per-views. Outside those 4 big pay-per-views that 9 chances out of 10 I'm gonna fucking illegally stream. I would rather pay the $5.99 or the $9.99. I think it's just $5.99 here in Canada for YouTube. That gives me everything except those 4. Yeah, I don't get weeklies right away. I'll get them after the fact. But I think they went the wrong course of kind of turning their back on the YouTube thing, I think, with their new deal. Now, with the new owners that are in and Scott D'Amore, Sleazy's best friend and scorecard history out of the way, and we don't get as much bad morale backstage talk out of TNA that we do out of WWE, that we do out of AEW, over New Japan. TNA seems to be like your 5 out of 10 sister that all your buddies will bang, won't admit they're banging.
saw that coming.
But like, you know what I mean? Like TNA is there. It's good. It's great. It gets the fucking job done. But not enough people are paying attention to TNA.
Okay. I guess that's fair. Fat
Ryan,
Man.
I actually do subscribe to their YouTube still, and it's still like $5.99 a month, and I get all of it.
Everything except the big 4 pay-per-views.
Correct.
Yeah. That is a steal.
That is just 100% a steal. And I do think that you're right. $200 is way too expensive.
Even that, I get the math, the breakdown. $6 a month is $72 before taxes, and you're talking about $210. Like, I get that it's just you're basically still just paying for the pay-per-views at that point. You might get a little bit of a discount, but you're having better shows on your YouTube shows, boss.
Yeah,
and you're banging them out every week. You're obviously not losing money. I know you're owned by a TV company, but you're obviously not fucking losing money by doing these because you're banging them out all the fucking time.
I do believe they need to get on a bigger network also. I think that's... I mean,
they were on a big network and didn't do anything with it.
Well, yes.
They need to be on a medium network that actually can get some views.
Because they're on a network that their company owns. It's basically WCW at this point. I think they need to get on a network that's not owned by Anthem and try to get a little bit more revenue, and maybe that has a bigger spread.
They need to go back to Fox Sports.
Will Fox take them? I don't think so. But
probably not. But Fox Sport would be their biggest.
That would be huge. What are they doing? Like 100 and something thousand a week or something like that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Fox Sports, they easily could jump multiple of that. Other than that, their creative's been pretty good.
They've killed people and brought them back to life, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Eric Young.
Multiple. Mickey James. Multiple times. Mickey
James didn't die. She was severely hurt by a train, but she did not die. Eric Young died. We watched them.
We literally just have to say she was severely hurt by a train.
Absolutely. Yes. Undertaker's an undead wizard. Mickey James can survive a train. Okay, listen. I know she can survive a train. She had a life before this.
Why are we doing?
Christina kicked her off Raw and sent her to SmackDown in 2000 something.
I am.
Wow.
They put on some great matches. The big problem with them is not many people are watching them or talking about them, and that's actually the sad part. Like they have to figure out a way to try to broaden their audience a little bit better.
they're like the anti AEW in terms of what they're doing for them is working, and they're not overreaching like what AEW, what they think they're doing is working, but they're overreaching when they need to scale it back a bit. TNA have scaled back as much as they can. They're still doing shit. TNA needs to, all intents and purposes, get some fucking steroids into you.
I agree. They need, but I understand. Like when they did Hard to Kill in January, their production budget was a little bit better. Then all of a sudden they went to, these weekly pay-per-views, or not weekly, but the YouTube shows, and they're after the one after Scott D'Amore, their production was shit. Like literally, like their fee cut out like 7,000 times.
You guys both have brought up 2 of the 3 points I wanted to bring up too. So let me quickly touch upon all 3 here. Number 1, better TV deal. You're absolutely right. It's the number 1 reason why I can't recommend TNA right now. It really is, because there's no channel that you can't do it. I think one of the best ways you can solve that is have a semi-exclusive contract with, of all places, Pluto.
You know what's funny about that statement now that I think about it? They have a great TV distribution deal.
Do they?
I could find TNA on Canadian cable in Newfoundland on 3 separate channels during the week.
Because it's a Canadian company.
The Game Show Network is not a Canadian network, sir.
And they're not down here. It's
CW.
TNA is not down here.
CW is a Fox affiliate.
Yep.
Also shows TNA.
Does not show it down here.
Nope.
That's the thing, is that the U.S. affiliates of them
It's
are not
only
showing
on.
TNA.
It's only on Access TV. Here.
Exactly. And the only other place that you see it at all is on those Pluto style, streaming,
Like Tubies.
Tubi,
Yeah.
Pluto, that kind of stuff. And I'm suggesting that they should look at that as their secondary market. Make that a week behind and just use that, because you'd get more eyes on the product in that respect. The number 2 thing that you, once again, both of you have touched on, I can't believe I'm saying this to a 20-fucking-year-old company plus, but get your goddamn production in order.
But they don't need to.
Yes, they do, because that's how you fuck your own audience. You absolutely
look at
fuck
the
your
production company at AEW. It ain't helping them. They're losing money.
Right?
TNA ain't losing no money.
Well, that's because the vast majority of their production budget is coming from the television station. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm going to use this show as an example of this. Over the past 11 years, our production has gotten better. We've gotten better cameras, for the most part. We'll ignore my camera today. We've gotten better mics. We've gotten better, digital things like this. We weren't always a video podcast. We've spent a lot of time, effort, and money to make this show a better product for people to come in and watch us. If we went back to the same shitty $3 mics, whatever work we had put in over the last 11 years vanishes like that. And it's the same thing that's happening to TNA. That's the one way you can get rid of loyal members of your audience, is to screw up your own production. And they're doing it. And that goes to part number 3. Scott D'Amore wouldn't let that happen. Why the fuck did you release him? So, well, guess what? It's fucking them in the ass.
100%.
So, Dietz, I think you're the only one that really didn't talk about it.
No, for me, it's because I'm not a TNA guy.
Get out.
I'm more the A guy than the T, but that's okay.
But sorry, it's funny.
I'll fuck it all.
But the rebrand, it got me interested in it, and they paid attention and brought essentially their history back, and I appreciate that style of stuff. I want to see a continuation of it just so I can keep going with it. Keep giving me these extra little storylines and intertwining it with everything. It's flowing nice, and it's making me enjoy it more. So for me, I really don't have a negative because I can't commentate on it because I don't watch the product.
Hashtag he doesn't watch the product, folks.
No, but the way that they're currently doing things makes me want to watch the product. And that didn't happen when it was just branded as Impact.
That's fair. Let's continue on. We're going to leave AEW / Ring of Honor for last. I think some of us have it as one thing. Some have it separate, whatever. I'm going to do New Japan first, and I'm going to start because I feel like I'm the one that would be the most up for it, I guess. I don't know. Once again, I preface this by saying, arigato gozaimasu.
Which means he'll suck your dick.
Exactly.
Durka Jihad.
New Japan's been around for 50 plus years, as Fatman will happily not say anything about.
50 plus years.
Right? No. But the reality is that they've been doing business of professional wrestling almost as long as WWE has.
So Sleazy being racist again. Sleazy's Asian by insertion, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, this is my own. These are my people. These are my.
Did you
people.
say he's Asian by pagan?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Were you not assuming that? Okay.
I had to hear that. I had to
things.
hear that for a fucking week. All right. And I'm deaf in one ear, and he's just all like, "Oh yeah, stick it in me harder. Oh yeah, no lube." It was weird.
Onlyfans.com/The Wrestling Show will have new content next week. So there's three major things that I have a problem with New Japan right now. Is number one is shit or get off the pot with the New Japan market or with the U.S. market for New Japan. The half-ass nature of how they do New Japan Strong is stupid. They just put their top title on a guy, John Moxley. But I have a hard time going to a New Japan show in the U.S. now because of the people I would like to see are 50-50 to even show up. No disrespect to like Fred Ross or Kratos, Tom Lawler, and those guys. But if I'm coming to a New Japan show, I want to see Takahashi. I want to see Taiji Ishimori. I want to see Naito, Taichi, Sonata, Kratos Khan. Tanahashi, not so much, but whatever. I want to see these big stars of New Japan. And when I walk into the door and it's a New Japan Strong show, I go, oh, cool.
Yay, Leo Rush.
Right, exactly. Number two is shit or get off the pot with making Stardom a big deal alongside New Japan. They're about to lose a bunch of stars to Marigold. For those who don't realize, that's Rossi's new promotion that he's doing. He's bringing in a bunch of people in for that. And while I don't think it's going to hurt Stardom specifically a ton, having potentially WWE breathing down their necks with Rossi might become an issue. I love Stardom, but they're in a pivotal place right now that could either spell doom for the promotion or make them flourish because they're a part of New Japan. And the last one is, once again, I know this is a hard thing to justify, but if you're going to make a bigger dent in the U.S. market, you really need a way to get Japanese shows out to the U.S. market better. Access is a good start, but there needs to be more of a Western market there needs to be more for the Western market to consume. New Japan World is better than what it was, but it's still not really truly accessible to the casual fan that's needed to break in the market. Fatman's a great example of this because he used to, we talk a lot about the major shows, Dontaku, obviously Wrestle Kingdom, but when it comes to the smaller shows, Fatman will watch them because they usually don't have English commentary. And that's a big barrier for not just him, but for a lot of professional wrestling fans. And that really needs to change. Current commentary teams are not doing the greatest job right now. Same with Stardom. I dare say it's even worse because they're a smaller product. The people that should be on commentary for English channels are not being kept there. I'm not going to name names, but there's one part-time person that should be a full-time Stardom commentator. And they're not. And there's absolutely blows my mind that they're not. So that's it for me for New Japan. I'm done sucking their dick. Who wants to take the next shot?
From Reddit this week. The Reddit it wasn't even a Reddit comment. It's just I get to bring Reddit up again, and this is where I'm prefacing it by. The caption just says, say less. And it's a comment from Gabe Kidd towards fucking Eddie Kingston. And it's brilliant. You respect Japanese wrestling? ? Fucking joke. You show up to a press conference wearing a fucking jersey. If you haven't seen the picture, the jersey's the Tokyo Giants.
Yeah.
How is something so great and so wrong at the same time? Because in the Eddie Kingston world, that is the perfect jersey to wear there for who Eddie Kingston is. But in Gabe Kidd's side, who the fuck is this Yankee motherfucker coming over to our world and disrespecting the sanctity of, because press conference in New Japan, they're an actual big, important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to see that, I love it and hate it at the same time. So I'm like, that's so Eddie Kingston. He's such a piece of shit. I like the jersey though. Like,
right. And to be fair, that is peak New Japan Gaijin shit. It really is. Because that's the stuff that you look for. The small shit like that.
Show and Yo's little stealing the belt. And that's, again, from watching the press conference and videos after. Because as much wrestling as I watch, New Japan's not one of them. Not very often unless it's a big show or a big match. Because I don't like the New Japan crowds. I never did. Right. They're all quiet and they're yeah, no, fuck off. Chant, you're an asshole. New Japan crowds love me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
one of my favorite New Japan press conferences. Very simple. Fuck! Fuck!
Fale, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Fale.
Yeah,
Just screaming fuck. Yeah, they do such great character work at those conferences. That is their, like, because of the
they
fact
have
that
a show every day. They got to figure out a way to progress the story.
Well, that's the thing, is that those shows are the weeklies. Mm-hmm. You know, between that and the post-match conferences are how they do it. They don't have a weekly TV show. And that's part of the problem that they're running into when they're coming to Western audiences. Because
they have a weekly TV show to me in Canada.
Yeah, the Access New Japan thing. Which
to me, it's on the Fight Network, but the people that own it, yeah.
But what's on those shows? Just rando matches from a more recent show that they've done. There's no cohesiveness. Yeah. So, sorry, I got back on my high horse about it.
You were the only person fit enough to get back on the New Japan horse, technically. Because, like, we all know enough, we can read, and we're smart and intelligible, but this is the only one where you get to say, watch the fucking product. I mean...
Yeah, watch the fucking product, guys.
It's just all chops and kicks. Watch the product. Okay, cool. Get rid of all the chops and kicks. There's not going to
happen. So then you don't have a fit. I'll go watch two crackheads fight over a piece of crack. That'll be more entertaining. First one busts out the suplex, they win. I'm not even going to tell them.
Bum fights.
Make your world title mean something.
What? Stop. It's on John Moxley.
They're hot-shotting it they make these big fucking things about, like, oh, you won the G1 Climax, which is always either Naito or Okada. It's not going to be Okada this year, so you know that. So it's Naito again? And then they build them up. Wins at Wrestle Kingdom, then loses it like a month immediately after, or a couple months after. And then the guy holds the title for a few months, drops it again. What is
your definition of hot-shotting? Because I got the title history up here now, and I really want to know what you think the definition of hot-shotting the title is.
To me, that seems like there's been a ton of... Maybe I'm just WWE biased to see long title runs. I just think... When did that first world title, the new one, debut?
Like Kota Ibushi won the title, or when it was officially announced, was March 4th, 2021.
Yeah.
He ran into an issue, I do believe was injured. They put it on Ospreay, who also got injured. So that belt started with a curse. And I get that part. Oh, but then the shortest reign, since then there was 8 reigns, or 6 total reigns since that in the span of 3 years.
Okay, that's not that. Well,
the smallest one was Okada at 94 days.
Okay. It just maybe seemed like it switched more than that, but
because we had Shitty Chan. Like, who the fuck is Shinsuke Takagi? And why did he have it for 211 days?
Takagi did a great job as champion, though. But I understand what you're saying. Who the fuck is he?
Evil. 271-day title reign. You mean the X Division guy? Okay.
So you're actually kind of making my point for me. Like, make
those
the
are the
title
only
mean something.
and they were two of the longer ones. So the length of their reign. But like Okada twice, Jay White, and Naito, all huge Japan names.
They had long runs.
Japan names. Now it's on
So
Moxley.
we're talking about it's still the Japan world title.
No. I need to stop Fatman right there, because there has been a huge history of big deal Gaijins winning the top title.
That's what
Moxley is one of them.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I said now it's on Moxley. So you're saying make it a big deal, get off the pot in America? Putting on a Moxley is a good start.
Yes, it is.
All that belt to Wrestle Kingdom.
Moxley,
I
know
don't
Moxley.
believe so. I believe he's losing it at Forbidden Door. I 100% believe he's losing it at Forbidden Door.
When he doesn't lose it, I believe he should hold that belt to Wrestle Kingdom.
He should,
I agree with Ryan, yes. Make it, you get the crossover to America. Oh, well, that fucking hurt. And so it's a good start of trying to get that American audience to care about New Japan. Now, he won in Chicago, so it wasn't, but
where else to start a good American run? Like in Chicago, Marktown, that is going to draw Mark fans who are smart enough to know who these people are and what the title should show.
He needs to start going to Japan and defending it there too.
Oh, without question.
If the rumors are ready to be true, because I was going to touch on AEW, but we'll touch on it now. Moxley's getting time off from AEW to go to Japan.
Good. I didn't hear that, but good.
Here's my answer to all of this stuff. I want to point out this. IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Jon Moxley. The IWGP Global Championship, who holds it right now?
Nick Nemeth.
Nick Nemeth.
Yeah.
The Junior Heavyweight Championship. Does anybody know who that is? Ryan had said his name earlier.
Oh, Leo Rush.
Show.
Oh, Show.
The Never Openweight Championship, Shingo Takagi. The Strong Openweight Championship, everyone knows here.
Eddie Kingston.
The King of Pro Wrestling Championship, Great Khan. The World Heavyweight
He's not the
Championship.
champion, yes.
He's got the trophy right now.
That doesn't mean he's the champion.
Fair. But the last thing is, who's the current television champion? Another Gaijin.
Yeah.
More champions are Gaijins in New Japan right now. No.
Who did you say
Zack
was
Sabre
the
Jr.
champion?
Matt Riddle beat Zack Sabre Jr. That's
Matt Riddle lost the belt fucking recently.
Yes.
Did he?
At Windy City Riot.
I didn't know that.
Go maybe, dude. Maybe.
No. You don't realize what happened? So
I don't
Zack
think you
beat
know.
him. So Zack beat him, and Matt Riddle basically walked off like nothing ever happened. He pulled a full Austin Aries on him. And just no-sold everything and just slapped hands, walks back. Like, fuck you, dude. But yeah, point being, a lot of Gaijins, a lot of fucking titles. Where are we going from here? I guess we got to finish off.
I do want to chime in on one thing.
Okay.
About New Japan. And that is the exodus of their talent.
There's another thing I want to talk about too, but go ahead, Deeds.
They hemorrhage to the American public, essentially, to either WWE or AEW. It has to stop. They've got to be able to keep an Ospreay. Jay White, I'll get into it later. But
What's wrong with the knife pervert?
he goes from basically being the catalyst of professional wrestling to the mid-card. And they need to be able to keep talent, especially somebody that is not of their descent. So
racist much?
Well, Zack Sabre Jr.,
Yes, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's it. They lost Omega. They lost Osprey. They lost White.
They lost the Bucks.
Now Tama Tonga. Eventually, Tama Leoa. Like Hakuleo. Like they're all going to
Anybody
be gone.
attached to AEW, New Japan did not lose. Let's be fucking 100% clear with that. You're attached to AEW, you're still attached some way, shape, or form to New Japan.
Correct, but if you're going to invade the United States essentially and create a buzz, you gotta have somebody to talk the local language.
David Finlay.
Who the fuck is David Finlay?
Leader of
That's
the
the
Bullet
problem.
Club.
Who the fuck is?
And
who
you're
the
the
fuck
Japanese
is-
man, dickhead.
I know it's just fun to say, nonetheless. But I
That's
think
my only qualm with New Japan right now is keep your talent, and then also develop your.
that's
your
the bigger
young-
part.
Your young lions
Develop
are
their talent.
Your young lions are not young anymore. They are now old.
what Shota's
You've got-
not, a big deal.
So I think it's developing talent because they're going to get a big enough buzz to where they're going to go to AEW, WWE eventually. So I think they have to develop talent better than most companies have to
Correct.
develop talent. That's the big thing. Also, yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches. Just stop. Every match, like every big show we review, the first 30 matches are tag matches or 3 or 6 man matches. And then you have one singles match and then another singles match main event.
I
You
know
don't need
it's-
some. Yeah,
I like
You're
how
trying to
people
get everyone on the
go
card.
10-minute jumping.
you're trying
You're
to get
not
everyone on the
wrong.
card. You're furthering storylines that way. I get it, but they're the same match every goddamn time.
I tend to agree with you. However, it's kind of hard to do that. It is because those are the only ways that they currently have to really truly progress storylines. That's how they do it. Is that they have these types of tag matches and so on and so forth. We're starting to get low on time here, so let's go through the final one. AEW. Fatman, I'll let you start.
Where to begin?
Oh God, damn it, pal.
I'll start with ROH. You need a TV deal, just like TNA does. Get off Honor Club. It's good for Honor Club's good for nostalgia. It's good to have a library. It's not good to have a live TV show on. Not many people subscribe to it. Not many people know what's going on, unless you read the dirt sheets or go out of your way to find it, which I know Ryan does, but
He's in the minority.
maybe, but you need a TV deal.
Same thing though. Do they?
Yes.
New
Yes.
Japan is talked about as one of the top 3 promotions in the world, and they don't have a TV deal. Let that sink in now.
Different. That's apples and oranges there. It really is.
No,
Because I could, in Japan, I can go to every single New Japan show live and have everything that I need to know about everything that's going on in New Japan. I don't need to see a weekly show because it's literally right there. I just need to go to Japan, to Osaka, to Yokohama, and back. And then I can do that with the bullet trains. It's not hard to get to every single show. Whereas if you try to do that in WWE, holy goddamn, you'd have to be, I don't know, a multi-billionaire that sits in the front row with a green t-shirt.
AEW, you need to have stories instead of dream match. Compelling stories. Yes, they have stories. Obviously, just like every wrestling thing. They're not.
They have Swerve Strickland. That's it.
Yeah.
And I said this in the chat. This right now, this we're talking about right now, 2024. Man, MJF sorely missed.
Right?
He is sorely missed. I think he'll be a shot in the arm when he comes back. because he's
At
100.
Dynasty.
Oh yeah, I mean, for what Forbidden Door is going to be in Long Island? Come on, he's either winning the title there or coming back there, or whatever, or coming back at Dynasty, whatever. But it AEW needs storylines, and Sleazy and I have talked about this several times. Do they need to get a better? Yes, they do. They need to boost their audience up. That's how they're going to get in. Their pay-per-views are the only live shows that are selling out. And by the way, their last few pay-per-views have been bangers. I will admit, they've been really good, really, really good. Which is the sad part of then they go from selling out a 14,000 seat arena to going to a 20,000 seat arena doing 3,500 fans for their weeklies. It's not compelling enough TV when their big shows, which is great, is building up to great matches. They don't need to watch the weeklies. They're like, oh, okay, we'll just watch this pay-per-view.
Which is weird because a lot of their weeklies are all about, look at this first time ever match between Adam Copeland and Christian. You know, that was a TV main event.
Mm-hmm. My girl, Sasha. Nope.
Some game changer she's been.
Yeah, she popped a ring on her debut and went right back down to normal.
Fucking thing. She can't get anything over.
They got
us. You know what the Sasha thing is? Brett going to WCW.
You know what? I said that to someone the other day.
They don't know what to do with Sasha Banks, and she's hurt.
Don't.
And shitty that she's hurt, and it's kind of affecting this. But like hurt too, they don't know what to do with Sasha Banks.
No, they don't.
Fuck, I'll even double down. They didn't know what to do with CM Punk.
Yeah, they did.
CM Punk didn't know what to do with CM Punk.
There was 2 CM Punk runs in AEW, and that first CM Punk run
was good.
Up to Brawl Out, they knew what they were doing with CM Punk.
Yeah,
it's Hangman. That's because up until the Hangman shit, Punk was fine. You never heard an issue, like nothing about Punk. Mm-hmm. And then Hangman ran his mouth on that Dynamite, and then Punk used that to start doing Punk shit, I'll call it. But up until that, they were perfect with what they done with Punk.
Going back to my point, they have to stop mentioning WWE all the fucking time. That airing that footage,
they can't get themselves over.
And even them mentioning WWE is not getting them over.
I know, and it's so annoying.
I thought 100% they were going to do a parody of it. They literally showed the footage, and it made them look like shit. I do not care what Tony Khan says about, we're building for the Young Bucks FTR. What does that have to do with CM Punk? You did it to try to make CM Punk look bad, and guess what? It made you look
validated
bad.
Him. Because he went on Ariel Helwani's podcast and literally said, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. And literally, there's a clip out there of literally him talking about it, and it's the exact same thing he's talking about.
I'll give the Devils their due.
Idiots.
They tried to turn it into an FTR thing because Punk and FTR are buddy, and they showed it enough to try to spin it right away because they knew if they didn't show the real footage, they were going to get shit on. If they showed fake footage, they were going to get shit on. So they showed the real footage, and to the Bucks' credit, immediately tried to spin it into an angle. And all intents and purposes, did spin it into an angle. But I will give them credit enough that they knew that there was no win for them.
I think they did the right thing where I think Tony Khan wanted to show it, and the Bucks were like, don't. And Tony Khan was like, we're going to, and the Bucks had to do something.
But we got conflicting reports on that online of the Bucks hated it, and then 2 hours later, the Bucks were actually okay with it. Same with the Ospreay thing. Ospreay didn't want to make the Triple H comment that everybody fucking makes about Triple H. Oh, no, but Ospreay was cool. Like, the state of pro wrestling in 2024, and I read this the other day, and I thought it was good. Most people shit on AEW because it gets them views and likes and comments.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, going up, their pay-per-views have been excellent. they are putting on some of the best pay-per-views this year, and even at the end of last year. They are great. Their television's cringe. They need to fix Dynamite. I know
I
Ryan's
can't have
gonna
Adam Copeland wrestling on a random Saturday because it's getting interrupted because of some sort of other sporting event.
If Sting could wrestle like Copeland wrestled, Sting would have wrestled every week.
Yes,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Copeland's just lucky enough that he can still go.
I like the people in AEW. I like the performers. I like Ospreay. I like Okada. I like Orange Cassidy. I like Swerve Strickland. I like Samoa Joe. I like Christian. He's doing some of the best work of his career.
Oh, absolutely.
But god damn, some of that weekly TV is hard to sit through.
I don't know. I don't watch the product.
It's hard to sit through. People are comparing it to WCW 2000. I don't see that. I really don't. But
Yeah,
No,
WWE 2019
stuff, that's really cringe 99. That's like them playing the Sid video over and over and over.
right. I don't see that. But they need to fix their also, guys, stop switching commentators during mid shows too. It's bad. It's an indie look, to be honest. Stick with the 3 commentators for one show. Stick with the 3 commentators for Rampage or whatever it is, Collision, and then on the pay-per-views, just do a 3-man booth with a combination of both. Don't keep switching them in and out. Like it to me, it disrupts the flow of the show. It does. The chemistry's all off when you do that.
I'm piggybacking off of you one more time. The performance that JR did, what was it?
Sting's last match.
Yeah, Sting's last match. You could tell he was 3 sheets under the wind.
Well, he had hip replacement surgery or was going to have hip.
He hadn't even been on the show.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it. It was him and Shivani. They wanted to do it. Give JR credit for wanting to do it. Probably knowing he doesn't.
It was okay to do shows drugged up. That he's an avid fan of the wrestling show, so JR knew that if I could pull off being drugged up during every single show that we do, that he could get away with it once. It was okay. I gave him the green light.
True, 100%.
Green for weed.
They're another company that I said WWE needs to kind of fix. They need to fix their women's division. In AEW.
It's gross because they have
so much talent. They have so much. Where is Britt Baker?
I was about to say, where the fuck's Britt Baker?
Oh, taking care of Adam Cole. What do you mean? Where's Britt Baker?
Where Adam Cole's on the show every week. What the fuck are you talking about? So can she.
Is he on the show every week or is he in vignettes? Because there's a difference.
He's on the show every week.
I don't know. I don't watch.
I never said live. I said he was on the show every week. Lawyered. They have so much talent in the women's division, and they're doing nothing with it.
What's it tell you?
They have Tony Storm doing probably one of the best characters that they have. That's it.
They're bringing in Stardom talent.
But who are they?
Do I need to? Mina is fucking awesome.
Well,
But
correct. Like, we know them,
right?
But to a general audience,
you're absolutely
if I
correct.
turn it on and like, who the fuck? It's like the WCW.
Is that Rio? No, it's some other Asian. Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's like the Mexican cruiserweights where it's like, what is an LA Park? What Seacope? Psychosis? What?
Cyclops? What?
Cyclops?
Yeah, I totally understand.
Why is there Viano 4? Where's 1, 2, and 3?
Again,
right?
there's so much talent in AEW that it's sickening that I'm like, what are you doing? Like, they need storylines that are compelling. You don't necessarily need long champion. Get me hooked on a story instead of, oh, this is a dream match that's going to be on a pay-per-view this month. There's different stories in that.
Because I'll play the differentiate, but they do
That's not their audience.
but they do have story. The Swerve is their main
Right.
story.
What they do, and when the MJF story, they have proven that they can tell good stories when they want to. It's when they want to.
Right.
It's not consistent. So get compelling stories other than match. Give me a better women's division. Camera work could be better. I like the grittiness of the production. It's not WWE. I understand it's different.
It's different and it's good.
But
different.
some of their cameramen miss a ton of spots.
Yeah.
So that needs to be cleaned up. But once that gets cleaned up, they're good.
Fat Man, I'm shocked you haven't mentioned the one thing you've always bitched at.
The refs.
Yep.
Actually, it wasn't the thing I was thinking of. So,
But at the same time, I'm going to pull what Ryan says. They're not going to change. They're not. That's just not what it is. I can bitch about it all day. And me bitching about Red Sox just tied it. Oh, we're going to go. Score.
At least I'm watching the product while we record. You're watching baseball.
right?
Right. Just took the lead. Down 5-1. Now we're up 6-5. Anyway.
What is this, a AAA game? Well,
So
it is the
they're
Boston
not-
Red Sox, so yeah.
They're not going to change.
Says a guy who doesn't even know.
Yeah,
the
you
affiliate.
can go and try and justify it whatever you want. Shut up.
They're not going to
But
change.
they're not a AAA team, though. So you're wrong on that point, which you always are. Anyway, they're not going to change who they are, even with me sitting here saying that you do this thing, you do this thing, you do this thing. Oh, by the way, I think this is what Sleazy's mentioning. Get Tony Khan off TV.
That's what I was going to mention.
When
Get
is he-
Tony Khan off TV. We don't need,
He's not on TV enough for it to matter.
but he is.
He
And
is.
he
Get him
does.
off of fucking YouTube and
Get him
Twitter.
off. Sleazy and I talked about this when I was in Atlantic City. They need to come out and go, guys, here's a GM or something. I'm only going to be here when there's something big that my GM can't handle or something happens.
Right.
Get him away from everything. Even get him away from booking and producing the shows. He doesn't know how to do it. It's been 5 years and it's not improved. Get him away. Let him hire someone that's smarter than him in that position.
Who would you do? Who would you put there? Right now, if you could just pick somebody.
Triple H.
Anderson.
Triple H. Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson's one of.
Yeah,
he's with them.
legitimately, Arn Anderson would be a good
He's
one.
there. He's there.
Danielson.
What about Gabe Sapolsky?
Danielson.
Yeah.
Gabe? No, they're not going to use Gabe. They'll not hire Gabe.
They won't. Yeah, because he's too embedded.
Yeah.
I'm trying to Carrie Silkin.
Carrie Sulkin.
Yeah, I mean there's
that'll be
a
cool.
lot of people that are technically on their payroll that they could put in that position, and they
Yeah.
don't. Let me go quickly through
Yeah, I
mine.
went long on that. I apologize.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine. I know it's a lot of stuff that
Oh, we all kind of chimed in too. So
yeah. So, Ring of Honor, I separated the two, Ring of Honor and AEW. I preface this by saying, I've said this with everything, if anyone caught that. If I won the lottery in 2020, the first thing I would have done was to buy a Ring of Honor. So in a way, Tony Khan is living my dream right now. Okay? So just get that out of the way. Number one, for fuck's sakes, get the weekly somewhere that isn't behind paywall. Fat Man's already talked about this. It's the stupidest thing that's currently happening in Ring of Honor. When no one can watch your product, why do they care to see the pay-per-views, the live events? You're doing no one any favors there. If you must absolutely keep it paywalled, make it lag a week or two and post it on YouTube or something. Okay? Number two, for fuck's sake, promote your goddamn live shows. We didn't know till literally 3 weeks before that Ring of Honor was going to do Super Card of Honor in Philly. We would have gone to that if we hadn't already gotten tickets to another show. There was a show in Newark, New Jersey that I would have gone to if I hadn't known about it longer than a week in advance. What the fuck are you guys doing? People that love Ring of Honor didn't know you were in the area. I didn't know Rampage was in Atlantic fucking City till literally the week it happened. What are you guys doing here? Separate the show more than from AEW. Put some talent down there if you want from AEW, fine, but separate it. It's its own brand. It should be its own brand. You've made the Ring of Honor title look like a bitch because you had it basically tied up with 2 other titles that didn't mean anything either. Hopefully Mark can reinvigorate the title, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And the reality is that the image is AEW developmental right now. It shouldn't be. It should be its own brand. As for AEW itself, I preface this by saying Tony Khan doesn't need a bunch of assholes tell him how his company is being poorly run. We leave that to Eric Bischoff and Bully Ray, apparently. But also...
Bischoff is like 90% right on everything he says anyway.
Maybe he is, but it also comes to my other bit and piece of this. We are watching a grown man, play with his toys. Mm-hmm. Okay? As long as the company doesn't lose money, in theory, he doesn't have to change a single goddamn thing because all he's doing is playing Booker. That's fine, whatever. If you want your show to be better, here's my 3 things. Number 1, do a better job of advertising your shows. I already said this with Ring of Honor. Fatman, did you know in the end of June, AEW will be coming to your area? Do you know?
No, I didn't.
Buffalo, end of June. They're running a Dynamite there.
I did not know that.
Exactly my point. Number 2, AEW as a whole does not know what to do with their talent. We've already talked about this once again. This might be because the inmates are running the asylum a little bit with respect to booking. You've got somebody who doesn't know how to book at the helm of booking in Tony Khan.
Can I jump in a little bit on that?
Yeah, go for it.
Leadership.
Yeah.
He can't lead. I get it that you want your wrestler to have a little bit more creativity. Perfectly fine. I'm okay with it. But it comes to a point where you're like, you're not doing that. And the whole brawl out thing and the whole all in thing. Where's the leadership there?
There isn't any.
No leadership. He's a man playing with his toys. You're 100%.
And Kenny Omega recently was on his I think he was streaming on Twitch or something. He said he hasn't had real power, quote unquote, as an executive vice president in a long time. It's just a title. There's nothing behind it. When Brawl Out happened, he had no power to do anything about it. He was just trying to smooth things over. And obviously that didn't really work all that well, but what else is new? The reality is it's making them look like a super indie promotion. And if that's what he wants, then there you go. You got it. But if you want to look like something that's a little bit more polished, you need to have somebody who's a leader that knows what they're doing in terms of booking.
This company is founded on Super Indie WrestleMania.
100%. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm saying is that if that's what you want your company to be, you're doing a great job at it. But if you want to make it better, if you feel like that you can make a better statement and not try and pop a rating by showing a wrestler that doesn't work for you anymore fighting with another wrestler that, quote unquote, has been banished to Japan, which, by the way, it did pop a rating. But it got them like 70,000 more buys.
But cage match.
We'll fuck up. There's 60 people in their basement that work on cage match, okay? Fuck them. That rate matches, not the people that actually work on cage match, so people that rate it. They're all in their mother. The raiders are usually in their mother's basement. Just ask Dave Meltzer. But
fuck Dave Meltzer.
Right? We haven't said that enough. Lastly, Fatman, 100%. Get Tony Khan off TV. He wants to be the next generation Vince McMahon. The reason why the Vince McMahon character worked at the later on stages is because he was a special attraction. When you heard No Chance in Hell, shit was about to fucking pick up.
You leave Dixie Khan alone. He's not on TV enough for it to matter. When he hits Dixie Carter levels of being on TV, I understand.
My suggestion is that even still, he's on too much. He should be on maybe once a year. Because it's special.
To awkwardly hug Martha.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for 100 great episodes, Tony Khan. Graphic made by Tony Khan.
Yeah, that's stupid, but Yeah. What else are you gonna do?
Like,
But that's me. I yield the floor to Dietz and Ryan if there's anything else that we haven't covered already. We covered a lot there.
Listen, we wind over technically 4 promotions, 5 because you count Ring of Honor, and 6 because people are stupid and think NXT is not WWE.
What about Stardom? I talked about Stardom.
We talked.
We talked about American wrestling and Hiroshima. WWE is going to be their own worst enemy. AEW, obviously, if AEW is fine where they're 2, because we don't know any public news about their numbers, but if AEW is fine where to do, they're not going to change. They're going to keep getting 5-star heatless bangers because story doesn't matter, and it's fine. I don't mind the AEW referees anymore because I get it. Ring of Honor, I agree with that. It needs to be taken down paywall just so we can see Ring of Honor. Hell, AEW Jack, put it back on YouTube. Like the way you're recording it, fuck it. But I said this a couple episodes last year, and I'll say it again now, and I'll say it for the rest of this decade. The 2020s is the best decade of wrestling we are living through, and we're only less than 5 years through the entire decade.
let's not say that AEW doesn't have its place, because it does. You have a lot of guys either at the beginning of their year, their career, or the end of their career making a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing. And I'm not going to bitch and complain about people making money. They can take indie bookings. They can make even more money. It's a good thing. They can get their name out there. It's just I feel like they can do better. It's like I'm like the dad. I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Like when Sleazy, when I was down there, didn't finish a meal.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
That hurts more, okay?
Because I can know they could do so much better than what they're doing now, and it's frustrating. That's what it is.
And that's kind of the key of this episode. Every year when we do this, is that we're talking about companies that are still making a ton of money. Even TNA is making money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not making as much as they could be. AEW is not making as much as they could be. For fuck's sake, technically
TNA is
speaking,
not making as much as they could be.
Right.
AEW is not making as much as they should be. There's
okay, fair.
Yes.
Fair. That's fair. That's totally fair. But they are making money. They are generating revenue. WWE, obviously, generating a shit ton of revenue. Ring of Honor somehow is still generating revenue because I know at least one person that bought Honor Club, maybe 2. But the reality is that
I don't know anybody.
Right?
I don't know anybody either.
I know 2 people that have Honor Club. That's it. And
3
nobody
more
here.
people know.
Yeah, right? But the reality is that we love professional wrestling. Not just AEW, not just WWE, not just Impact, not just New Japan. We love professional wrestling. And that's all we want to do is help make it better, more eyes on the product, whatever you want to do. If you are a DDT fan, do it. If you were a Chikara fan, go for it. If you were like fucking CZW fan, awesome, cool. Not everyone's cup of tea is out there, but if you like professional wrestling, get into it. Show somebody that doesn't know professional wrestling. Just because they don't like wrestling because, oh, I saw that Rock thing and whatnot on WrestleMania. I'm not into that. Show them something different. Wrestling is so differently faceted depending on where you're at. And as long as we are champions of that with the wrestling show, we're always going to be the ones to help bring new eyes to the product, new eyes to things that we wouldn't have normally watched. Here, blah, blah, blah. News and rumors. Let's get this over with.
Tony Khan's not opposed to working with WWE. Said WWE is precedence to working with other promotions, only that an area WWE rarely explores during McMahon's 4+ decades of leadership. Tony Khan said it's an interesting thought. It would depend on the circumstance. Tony Khan was allowed similar situation in the past. He allowed AEW contract wrestlers Danielson, Paul White, and Chris Jericho submit videos for an episode of Raw, Sullivan and John Cena, and as well as Billy Gunn's WWE Hall of Fame induction with DX.
They've dabbled just not enough that we want.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. The Motor City Machine Guns are most likely signing with AEW. Surprise, surprise there.
I
Warm
really,
bowl of water.
They can't be in AEW. We just watched them in the main event of WrestleMania.
well done, sir. Well done. I love you for that.
That's it.
There's a couple other minor
Like
things.
like the Undertaker spot at WrestleMania is supposed to go to Austin, but Austin didn't.
Plans change, pal.
Money apparently.
Plans change, pal. Oh goddamn, pal. There was something.
Sue
else.
Aitchison got released apparently.
That's a Warrior Award winner.
Yeah.
That's pretty shitty.
He worked for them for 38 years.
Ryan, do you have somebody else in the room? Because I just saw a weird plume of smoke just magically appear.
Wife dropped off the drugs.
Aha!
What a lady.
Most of those are mine.
Wife also likes the drugs.
I will say that the Fnatic CEO has now stated that they love WWE. ... With a nod to what I said last week.
When we went to the Superstore, I did not expect that place to be as packed as it was on a Friday afternoon. When we went to New Orleans, it was a Friday afternoon, I do believe, and it was busy, but it wasn't that busy. It was way bigger, and it was way more busy. I guarantee you, they probably made $3 to $4 million a day in that goddamn store.
Yeah, we were joking about it sitting
a couple
there.
million on the Fnatic shit.
Yeah, the actual con part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
How long do I get NHL titles is what I'm waiting on.
those I wanted Red Sox one. They're like $600.
I like the Orioles one, to be honest with you.
Of course you fucking Mark.
Gotcha, bro.
As I say, I want the Red Sox one.
Hey, but as soon as they start doing minor leagues, baby, let's go.
They're not gonna do minor leagues.
Flying Chonklers. Let's rock.
This is my what's today's date? The 16th. We got the 20. What's 3rd?
23rd and then the 30th.
On the 30th, I'll be back at the Fat Cave, and there's a new addition that I will show you guys to the Fat Cave. But no, that Superstore was so packed, like, goddamn. Sleazy Riho, unsure she'll return to AEW, reveals that she has visa issues.
Yeah, I heard about that. Apparently, some weird visa-related things happened, and now she can't come back in the country, which sucks because I think they were gonna. She was gonna run indie shows here too, which sucks. There was something else that I did want.
Vince McMahon puts all his TKO stocks up for sure.
Yeah, so
that's $1 billion for him right there.
Well, the reality is, it means he's completely done.
I think he had like 4% ownership, but now that he's doing that, he's done. Was there something else?
All of it and
Did we
something else?
Did we talk about the Indie Hall of Fame last week?
No.
Ryan,
Yes, we did. We did talk about it.
About Sabu?
Yes.
So there is new news about that, apparently. So Sabu did give the deposit back, and Brett promptly donated it to an LGBT organization, I believe it was. But so all's well that ends well, I guess. Apparently, well, it goes back to what we had said beforehand, that Sabu was kind of out of it. There is a possibility that he didn't even realize he was supposed to go to the event.
He was in rough shape.
Very rough.
Akibono,
We joked. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Akibono died.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Oh.
Yeah. He was only 54.
Like
I
this,
mean-
this whole Drew McIntyre WWE he fucking signed a new contract. You goddamn marks.
You say that, but there's been a lot of contracts that kind of fell apart or are coming up for renewal that haven't been talked about, and that was, partially because of the previous director of talent relations wasn't really negotiating, apparently.
Really?
That's why he got fired.
Yeah.
And that's why they're bringing somebody new into that spot
Okay.
to kind of do all these. So that might be legitimate. Deets. Oh,
One
you
more
got
thing.
anything else?
AEW released their pay-per-view schedule for the rest of the year. Double or Nothing Vegas, Forbidden Door, Long Island. Obviously, we know about All In London, All Out in Chicago. Wrestle Dream will be in Tacoma, so still in that northeast, but in the Seattle area. Full Gear, back in Newark, New Jersey. And then World's End in Orlando. So basically, the same venues they go to every goddamn year.
Yeah, I probably will go to Full Gear. Forbidden Door, I would love to go to Forbidden Door, but it's just too soon. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go to it, unfortunately.
It will depend on the situation.
Well, for me, it'll depend on cash flow.
How much? How much?
How much is it going to cost me to see AZM in a ring in the U.S.? Well, already it's cost me, what, $80?
Say $80.
You would have thought had you gotten the Supercard.
I already paid for it for the Stardom show, so.
Did you see that WWE's Beyond the Curtain didn't air?
Yeah! They what was the reasoning behind that?
Due to a sheer amount of footage that was shot over the weekend, WWE staff is still assembling the film. The plans to release documentary as soon as they settle on the final product.
It's kind of dumb to try and rush something like that out the door and promote it, too.
Right.
It's one thing to rush it out the door. It's another to promote it and then to go, whoops, maybe not.
Okay.
Deets, put yourself over quick.
At Legendary Deeds on the X, come talk shit. Baltimore sports, pro wrestling. Get some, bitches. It was a good show today.
It was. Ryan.
Ryan Buckgotch, Instagram, Reddit, and I guess we still use Twitter when I'm trying to find porn.
I mean, don't we all?
Dude.
I would normally I'd go to Heavy G, but he's not here today, unfortunately.
So for Canadian Fat Man,
Yeah, right. So I will put your guys' over. The best darn sports show period 2 every other Thursday night.
Thursday. We're gonna do a show this week though. We were gonna do a show next Wednesday, and then do a live watch along for the NFL draft on Thursday. But we're actually gonna do our mock draft this Thursday, and then do the watch along next Thursday.
Deech just had like a moment of euphoria before he left. He heard the word draft. I'm at TWS Sleazy. God damn it. We are SleazyFatman on X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Please go on over there. Give us a like. Videos you can find at twitch.tv/SleazyFatman, youtube.com/SleazyFatman. SleazyFatman and premium videos on onlyfans.com/The Wrestling Show. Make sure you like, subscribe on your favorite platform. Click that notification icon on YouTube. It really does help us out to make sure that you get all of our content as soon as it comes out. You can find all sorts of other content at thewrestlingshow.com, including articles, merchant, and other cool stuff. You can get this podcast every Saturday morning wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, and Podbean. It's not like I've done this multiple times over the past few years. Jesus Christ. Don't hesitate to rate us on your favorite platform and click automatic downloads. It really does help us out. And always like, subscribe, comment on all of our social media stuff. Juice the algorithm, so to speak. It really does help us out. So with a thanks to Deets, a thanks to Heavy G, even though he didn't come on tonight, a thanks to Ryan. Normally I tell him to go fuck himself, but he doesn't. And as always, for Sleazy,
For the Fat Man,
this is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. I just want to say before we go, next week we'll have a couple of new changes to see out there. So with that being said, Peace.
Oh, not that. Oh, okay. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Tony Khan and his alleged coke habit. Hot dog's on a sandwich. A soba's on a sandwich. A burger is a sandwich. Next week, we will review the 40 hours that is AEW Dynasty.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun.